How do you know if a resolution is worth making? Is it what you really want? Or is it perhaps what others expect you to do? Be your friends, family, peers, society, or even Instagram. Here's the truth for you. The reason why most resolutions fail by February is because they are not authentic. This video is about reviewing your past year and making resolutions that are worth fighting for. We will do it in a completely new way, through the lens of a gardener tending to a garden. Let's start by looking into the mirror. You can either get a piece of paper or download the free resource that you can find in the description. If you're using a paper, then write down the months from January to December, and next to it, answer the following question. What were the highlights and low points for each month in the last year? 2 or 3 things per month is enough. As you go through the list, you might find recurring themes and patterns. Maybe there's a lot around health and fitness, or career, or hobbies, anything that you may find. Note it down. Once you have identified these areas that are important to you, answer the following questions. How was your year in terms of these areas overall? What were your main accomplishments for each? And what do you want to reflect on? What are you most proud of overall? What were the lessons learned? These are all prompts that you can use to explore what is important for you. At this point, pause the video or just follow along, and then you can tackle this exercise once you have finished the video. Well done. With these prompts, you have a lot to work with. Now, let's turn to your garden. Every garden tells the story. Now, let's look at your last year and what garden it created. I can imagine some flowers bloom, some overgrew, and perhaps some weeds crept in. On a new paper, write down what your garden looks like and let these following questions guide you. Most importantly, do not judge anything. You are here to take stock, not to make decisions at this stage. So focus on creating a crystal clear picture of the garden. Which habits are healthy plants yielding fruit? Mindfulness, running, reading. Which ones are weeds slowly draining your energy? Mindless scrolling, unhealthy habits, smoking, or perhaps irregular sleeping. And which areas need pruning before they take over? Overworking or perhaps overdoing any other activity? Then draw it out, be creative, use color, and name the plant if you want to. Let me give you a few ideas of what you may find in your garden. You don't have to use these, but I hope that they give you a helpful starting point. Take the apple tree. It could represent a reliable and fruitful habit. These can be the habits that make you happier, healthier, and overall a better person year after year. For example, the quality time you spend with your friends, the time you dedicate for sleeping, or your exercise routine. Then a sequoia. These are your core identity habits. These are the massive core parts of your life that anchors who you are. This could be your identity as an artist, representing the accumulated effort that you have put into something year after year. Something that you would mention when you introduce yourself. Do you have a sequoia? Next, we have an olive tree. These are your long-term resilient habits. These are habits that grow slowly, but then end up compounding into huge rewards, like building expertise of you as a communicator, writer, or builder. Next, we have weeds, representing everyday distractions. They look harmless and represent low-level habits that creep into your everydays without you noticing it. Like how you start your day checking your phone, or default to mindless scrolling after a long day at work. Next, we have the kudzu vine, which would represent overwork or compulsive habits. These are habits that grow so aggressively that they can take over your whole landscape. This steps into the territory of addiction, such as gaming or substance abuse. These are things you would often hide from loved ones. They starve other plants, leaving you depleted. Over time, they undermine balance, health, and relationships. Next, you have poison ivy, representing toxic relationships. These are connections that look harmless at first, but it can cause harm and irritation the more you interact with them. Did you let people in your life who undermine your health, well-being, and confidence? And finally, we have the deadwood tree, representing outdated habits and routines. These are habits and commitments that once served you, but no longer do. Do you have something that you keep repeating in autopilot? Maybe too much sugar in your coffee, overconsumption. Now they block the light, take up resources, and prevent space for new growth. They linger because they are familiar, but at the cost of progress. I have created a free resource that takes you through this reflection process step by step. It will help you review your past year and plan the next. It is infused with all I learned about human behavior and what makes successful behavioral change, giving you the best chance to succeed. You will find the link in the description. And if you like this, don't forget to subscribe. Having a crystal clear picture of the last year, now it's time to look ahead. What do you want your garden to look like in 1 year's time? An oasis of well-being, a forest of money trees, or perhaps a tidy vegetable patch? I recommend the 3-step approach to think about the next year. Step number 1, aspiration. Think about the big areas you have identified in the first part. Now, what does that mean to your garden? What do you want to keep watering? The habits that serve you. What weeds do you want to remove from your garden? What are the unhealthy habits you want to say goodbye to? And what are the plants that needs pruning or some extra care? These are good habits, but unchecked, they might become bad ones. And most importantly, what new seeds do you want to plant? Step 2, the compass. The most effective goals are the ones that you genuinely care about, not the ones that you do out of expectations, obligations, or guilt to others. To make it more difficult, we are bombarded by information and screens all day, so it's difficult to distinguish between the two. What you are looking for is your authentic self, core principles, inner child, or inner compass. Name it as you wish. So how to do it? Do this simple exercise. For everything that you have written down, ask yourself the question, is it in line with your inner compass? Then close your eyes and wait for an answer. Just wait. Your body will respond. If it's a yes, then it is a goal worth keeping. If it's a no or a maybe, then you want to consider discarding it. It will save you a lot of time and effort that you can put into the ones that you really care about. Now do this with all the resolutions that you want to make. And once done, we can move on to the next step. Step 3, the setup. Even with authentic resolutions, it can be challenging to succeed. I have a separate video that outlines all the forces that you need to battle and talking about the techniques that can help you maximize your chances of success. But let me provide you the most important insights here. Make it easy. You want to make your new habits the path of least resistance. And your old habits, you want to put barriers to doing that. If you want to read before going to bed instead of scrolling, then do the following. Have the book you want to read at your bedside table and perhaps change where you charge your phone. Rather than your bedside table, maybe in another room. You can return back to the good old alarm clock. Make it social. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. If the habit that you would like to cultivate can be done in a group, by all means, join others. For example, if you want to take up on running, join a running club. It will make it much easier for you to keep this habit. It will add an extra layer of accountability. Make it concrete. Abstract goals are fragile. Instead of, I will exercise more, or that I will exercise 3 times a week, make it specific. Be very clear about the when, how, and what. For example, I will run 30 minutes at 7 a.m. on Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Create incentives. Use carrots and sticks. Reward yourself when completing a sub-goal, or put something on the line in case you do not. You can use an app like Stick to put money on the line. Or you can also give money to a friend and make them promise that they would only give you back the money if you achieved what you both agreed on. Create systems and not just goals. Goals are very helpful, but they are not sufficient. If your resolution is to run a marathon, the race ends on the race day. But this is not what you want. So instead, think in systems, like going for running 3 times a week with a set routine. This will sustain your fitness beyond the medal. So here you have it, a process to review your last year and plan your next. It's all about observing your garden, your last year, and being intentional in what you want to grow, looking at your next year. While you do the exercise, I'll leave you with a question to reflect on. Are you the gardener or are you the garden? Best of luck for your next year. Stay curious and make your choices count. See you in the next one.